So if you could start by telling me your name, the year you were born, and anything else you'd like to tell me about yourself.
Oh, okay. So my name is Carol Lee Marshall. I was born in 1958 and I'm a Canadian.
Let's see, my name is Janet Cromwell. I was born in 1958, and most of my career I've been a minister in different churches and communities.
Okay. So my name is Debbie Guerra, and I was born in 1957, so I'm 68 and a half, I guess, something like that. And still don't feel like I am. I'm living here at Pilgrim Place because it's a fantastic place to live, and I embrace all the values. It was time for us to come to a place like this because my husband is 80, and we've only been here for a year and a half, so we still kind of feel like newbies. I'm a retired United Methodist minister, and I love cats.
Okay, yeah, my name is Lee Raleigh, and I was born in 1948, so I'm 78 years old. And yeah, I'm originally from Utah, and I've been in California for about 12 years, Pilgrim Place for about 5.
Not so much anymore. Well, I always wear lipstick. So if that's considered makeup, yes. But I don't wear as much makeup as I used to.
I do wear makeup. Ever since I started wearing makeup, I have always worn black mascara. That's like the one constant in my life.
I do wear makeup, maybe, and lots of women around here almost go out of their way to make sure I know that I don't need to. And my response is often, I do it for myself. I just feel better looking at myself in the mirror.
I don't wear a lot of makeup, but I do wear some.
Lipstick.
Yeah.
So moisturizer, eye cream, lipstick.
If I'm gonna go somewhere nice, I might put on a little bit of blush, but right now that's about all that I do.
I go out of my way to get the right foundation and the right match, and I use a very light eyeshadow and eyeliner and mascara and blush and eyebrow pencil and powder and spray to make it stay.
I use a tinted moisturizer that has sunscreen in it, and a little bit of eyebrow touch-up, and sometimes if it's a festive occasion, I will put on a little bit of eyeliner, touch of mascara. But day to day, it's pretty like it is right now.
Maybe when I first started to work, and it was probably blue eyeshadow. Because that's the generation. Yeah, maybe when I first, even like just working, well, not part-time, but no, probably when I first went to college, because I went to a big city. Maybe then, but I have no idea. Cannot remember.
So I would say my beginnings with makeup started in junior high, when other girls in the class were starting to wear makeup, and you're watching or reading teen magazine or watching the TV shows, and so you sort of think about what a typical or beautiful woman looks like, and makeup has been a big part of that. I thought about the many ways that people learn about makeup, and I think for me, it wasn't my mom as much as for some women, but it was more teen magazines and my friends.
It used to be called junior high. I want to say
Yes.
7th or 8th
Yeah.
grade. And I didn't really learn how to use makeup until a lot older. I started catching on to going to nice department stores and having them do your makeup. And there's been a few circumstances where I've had my makeup done. And so I've just learned techniques.
Yeah, I actually wrote a story for my mom when she turned 80, talking about how when I started junior high, it was called junior high in those days, so 7th grade, and my best friend and I wanted lipstick more than anything in the world. We wanted lipstick, and our mothers kept saying, no lipstick. And then finally, when we were going into 7th grade, our mom said, okay, we're going to go shopping. And they took us to this fancy department store in Salt Lake City. And we went to the makeup counter. It was so glittery and shiny and really appealing. And I, my friend Linda and I had been talking about, oh, wow, we're going to get this really deep red or bright pink, and we got there, and all the women who worked there had these slicked back hairstyles and makeup to the nines. And I looked at my mom. It was very pretty. She had black curly hair and simple little swipe on her eyebrows and some little bit of mascara, and she looked so pretty. And I picked this. She had sort of a coral lipstick on, but by the time we got there, it was pretty much worn off. And So I picked out the very lightest pink they had, and I think my mom was kind of surprised, but it just, comparing my mother and her just natural beauty, I don't look anything like her.
Right. I think when I was working, it was considered professionalism, and I wore makeup every day. I think moving to California, that's so much so much more casual, and I didn't work when I first got here. I think I moved away from wearing makeup all the time, but I have always worn lipstick all the time.
I did some theater, and so theatrical makeup was kind of a fun way to jump into using products, even though they're much heavier for the theater than they are for daily life. But that was a part of my evolution and understanding makeup. And then in college, as my kind of personal awareness started to grow about the women's movement, I really found or started to discover how much the makeup industry was a huge business, and that a lot of the makeup that was being created was really to create a standardized beauty. And we were all to sort of work towards this standardized beauty. And whether it was for personal pleasure or by cultural pressure or expectations, there was always a sense that you should be wearing makeup. But the women's movement was saying, no, natural beauty is really positive, and that we should embrace what we look like, what our skin tones are like, and how we live. I wasn't quite able to go that far completely to give up makeup or stop buying into that industry completely, but I found myself wearing less and feeling more confident. And maybe partly because of the profession I chose with being in the ministry, I didn't feel like I should be way out there. I should just look very natural when I was speaking with people or spending time with people.
I mean, I was a minister.
Right.
And I needed to dress professionally, and I needed to look professional. And I was in front of people a fair amount of the time. So that definitely was, I mean, there's plenty of women that still don't in those circumstances, and that's okay, particularly now. But for me, that was important. Yeah.
And now you think that you like exclusively do it for yourself?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm in an environment where people honestly don't care. So, I mean, I don't know what they think. I haven't had anybody make any comments in the year and a half we've been here. We don't talk to each other about how we compliment each other on each other's clothes, but it's like such a totally accepting. It's like people don't even compliment each other on their looks and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? It's different. It's like it doesn't matter, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I just want to dress up. Sometimes I just want to not be so casual. So, and there's not really opportunities to.
I wore makeup in my 20s and 30s, and as a professional, I did. I was a university professor, and I know that I didn't need to wear makeup, but I felt more polished and put together, especially for professional conferences and things like that. But I grew up in the 60s, and things were happening. So by the time I got out of high school and into college, I was protesting wars, the Vietnam War, and didn't have a lot of time to bother with makeup. So in those days, yeah, not a lot of makeup.
It just brightens you up.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd look pretty pale, maybe a little sickly. So, yeah, just to brighten up, kind of make a little bit of a statement. Because I always wear really red lipstick, right? So, yeah.
I think I wear makeup for a couple of reasons. One, I still love mascara, and that's just one of my favorite makeup tools. I also think wearing makeup for older women might make us feel a little bit younger, like we're still in touch with a younger culture that is more engaged in personal appearance and makeup and clothing. So I think that might be part of it. And then the third thing is, I think at this point I wear makeup because my complexion has just sort of changed over time, and it's not as perfectly smooth or the same precise color throughout. And I think makeup sometimes helps to just sort of even out the skin tone and look, and to maybe vainly just still look a little bit younger.
Well, in a lot of ways, I am still my teenage self. I have a granddaughter who's almost 8. She's actually a twin, and she just couldn't wait to get her ears pierced, and she just got her ears pierced, and she loves it when she does dances and stuff and gets to put on makeup. And I love doing like painting nails with her and playing with makeup with her, and I just turned into my teenage self with her.
So if I'm going out someplace special, a nice dinner or concert or something, and I have time, I think it's kind of fun. I think it's sort of an art form. I'm not really good at it, however, but I do have friends. I've had friends over the years who were really talented with, making their eyes look really cool. And it always reminds me a little bit of that best friend Linda in 7th grade, because we would look through the magazines, the 17 magazine, I think, was the big deal. And I don't know, it was kind of fun.
Look, I mean, I wish I've gained a lot of weight, so that kind of, but I love my gray hair. I had no idea I was this gray till COVID, And I was so surprised, and it just grew in so beautifully. And it's so liberating not to dye your hair all the time.
I think I'm grateful for how I look now, in that I feel so grateful to be healthy. And I think in a way that's reflected in how I look. I'm very grateful to, to still have clear eyes and nice teeth and, pretty hair. I'm grateful for how I look. Not that I'm always confident about that, but I think I want to be really appreciative of every step in my aging process, and appreciative that it's a reflection of having lived a lot in life. I think maybe my evolution of self-perception has probably changed less with makeup and more with being okay with my hair changing color. I think going gray or having more gray in my hair has probably been a little bit more of a shock to me than the change in makeup or my perception of that.
Oh, that's a loaded question for a 68-year-old who's into how they look and is getting old. Like, oh no, I'm so critical.
Yeah.
So critical all the time. Yeah, there's always something, I was like, I need to lose weight, or my hair's not right, or I'm very critical of myself. I was always kind of proud of how I looked, and I was aware. And now I just feel like this just another old person at Pilgrim Place. So, yeah.
I think, the whole aging aspect is an adjustment for me, because I always looked a lot younger than my chronological age. And I don't think that's true anymore. And it is an adjustment. I think it's, I think there are times when, as an older woman, I feel invisible in certain crowds. Like we were in France last fall, and France is a place where people look at you a lot. They look at everybody. And I was sort of felt like I was dropping off the scale of, hey, nobody's looking at me. This feels weird. So I think there is, I don't know, I'm sensing not all the time, but times when I feel a bit invisible as I age. It's very annoying. I'm still grappling with it. I think I'm at that stage where I'm changing. My physical look is changing, physical abilities, and it shouldn't be a surprise, but it is.
That's awesome. Okay, that's all I need to know from you.
That was funny.